So the next album, I feel funny saying this, and I'm talking largely about this to try and figure out a way to talk about it when interview season comes in a month or two so that I can frame it in a way that I'm happy with. The next album is, but I assume some of you are college students, and within that subset, some of you are like critical theory and English people. So I'm gonna nest a bunch of scare quotes for those of you. The next album is about mental illness. But I mean, I worked in mental health here in Southern California for a very long time, but I've sort of come to think of the way we describe mental illness as unuseful to the people, to the population that we purport to serve when we nurse or administer, because to put an individual's daily experiences in a basket and call it mental illness is to really minimize and compartmentalize them in a way that I don't think is helpful to anybody. I mean, it's hard not to do because it's a big world and there's a lot of people, so being able to describe things in generalization seems useful in the short term, but in the long term I think what we wind up doing is dehumanizing a bunch of people who need more human services than we're kind of willing or able to provide in our emotionally bankrupt culture. Hey, what am I but anyway, the next record is about the people who tend to fall off the map, who you know, who you knew in high school, and one day they start to act a little different, and you sort of wondered if they'd gotten into something weird, but they hadn't. It was that there was a time bomb somewhere in their genes, and it had started to tick, and then you would see them at a party, maybe talking too close, way too close for too long, and you wonder what happened to the person you used to know, and then after you graduate, you don't hear of him or her again for a while. The next album is called Transcendental Youth, and this song didn't make the cut, but it will be available in a different way, and it's called In the Shadow of the Western Hills. Spread out the old maps on the floor. Plot the course of the infection. Trace from its beginnings to the present. Is there no one here who's making this connection? Feral cats out by the trash can. To the true believer, everything's a sign. Scrape the pigments from the baseboards. In the shadow of the western hills, and paint my vision on my body. In the shadow of the western hills, bleached rose petal sky in 2 dimensions, black tree line, a blade that cuts across it all. Can't seem to sleep or find my appetite since I got home from the hospital. Call up Rebecca, maybe try to explain, but she hangs up while I'm still talking. I walk out into the rain, wander from the alley to the darkness, sink down completely, leave no trace, trapped beneath the surface of the ice again. Lie still with the moonlight on my face, wait for the wolves to keep their promise. Listen for their voices in the snow. I can't hear things clearly, to be honest. In the shadow of the western hills, he gets most healed that waits the longest. In the shadow of the western hills.